post the other day talking about the dirtiest fighters in history. And in that video, I misquoted some facts about Jack Dempsey during the Just Willard fight. I said that Jack Dempsey had brass knuckles on underneath his boxing gloves. I stand corrected. The more accurate statement is Jack Dempsey had on a type of hand wraps that would turn into cast after they were dipped into water. Jack Dempsey's manager said that he had put some type of illegal substance on Jack Dempsey's hand. So again, I stand corrected on my statement about Jack Dempsey. It wasn't brass knuckles that he was said you have on. It was plaster or cast. I had a handful of people jump all over me because I said brass knuckles and not cast, because I don't have a problem saying I was wrong and correcting it. But nevertheless, one thing for sure, two things for certain. From what I learned in the handful of documentaries about Jack Dempsey that I listened to, I like Jack Dempsey. Jack Dempsey was a hell of a guy. He was a hobo prize fighter, from what I learned. And Jack Dempsey went around and fought for food and shelter. Jack Dempsey would rise to prominence, becoming a heavyweight champion of the world. Basically, Jack Dempsey was the first Mike Tyson, the first Muhammad Ali, the first Sugar Ray Robinson. Jack Dempsey was that guy. He was a vicious, hard-fighting guy. Prior to Jack Dempsey coming on the scene, the fighters fought in a gentlemanly boxing style. But Jack Dempsey, because of his harsh upbringing, Jack Dempsey fought like a man who was fighting for his life. And when he went in there against Just Willard, he beat Just Willard senseless. Now again, I'm going to stand by the comment that I made that Jack Dempsey had something in his gloves. I'm going to stand by that. And the reason why I'm going to stand by that is because Jack Dempsey's manager had put up $10,000 at 10-to-1 odds that Jack Dempsey was going to knock Just Willard out in the first round. Jack Dempsey almost did knock Just Willard out in the first round, but he didn't. And I suspect the reason why they let the fight go another round was because they didn't want Jack Dempsey's manager to win the money or to win the bet. So I'm standing by that. But nevertheless, I believe from everything that I learned about Jack Dempsey, I think that he probably still would have beat Just Willard without the cast in his gloves. The fight might have just went a little bit longer because Just Willard he probably outweighed Jack Dempsey by 50 pounds. Jack Dempsey went on to have a very successful post-boxing career after losing the heavyweight championship to the Fighting Marine, Gene Tunney. And he had a great career, and he had a great post-career. Jack Dempsey married to a string of movie stars and one prostitute. He had a restaurant. I mean, he was a great guy. And even though the guys who get jumped all over me for making a post with inaccurate statements about Jack Dempsey, to be totally honest with you, I'm glad those guys did call me on the carpet, because had they not called me on the carpet, I would not have taken the initiative to look up Jack Dempsey and see what he was about and learn some things about him. And again, from everything I learned, Jack Dempsey is now one of my boxing heroes, because everything I learned about this man, I like him and I admire him, and I am done with it. Bam!